Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. Hope you had a very great Christmas. Spent all the time with your friends and family during the holiday season. I know I had a great time with mine, and I hope you did with yours. So, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be going over November's housing market stats for Orlando, Tampa, and this time also I'm going to be including the Miami-Dade County area. Unfortunately, I won't be able to show you any live data because I am going to be going over Orlando and Tampa's housing market, what's been going on for the past 7 days, so you actually have more of a live idea of what's going on in the market. But unfortunately, my MLS does not reach out to the Miami area, so I can't show you any live data from there, unfortunately. But I will be able to show you some of the stats that are coming from that market. I'm not going to be going into any charts in this video for Orlando or Tampa, but I am going to dig into a little bit in the Miami side. But I do want to give you an update as well. We are signing tomorrow on a brand new house. So I'm very excited for that. And it looks like our monthly payment is going to be just under $2,200. Actually, it's going to be just over $2,100, just because we're going to be paying the insurance off yearly, which is just over $900 for the year. So we're just going to pay that off at one time. And that is actually kind of why I was saying in my previous videos of why I think the new construction market is going to start leading in value of homes of being affordable here in the Florida market, just because of not just that, the insurance cause reasons that I discovered, at least, of that no one else is talking about. And I think because either they don't know, I'm just learning this as well. So not in this video, but in my next video when I'm going to be focusing on new construction. When we get our new home, I'm all settled in. I got my studio up because we're at 4 bedrooms in this house, and I can actually use one of the bedrooms. We're going to use it as a studio office. So I'm going to be setting up a little YouTube corner for myself, so that way I can give you more of a better environment, provide better quality for you guys, and so we can just keep growing my business, right? Keep providing value, keep making sure that I'm constantly going up and not staying stagnant. So it's part of the process right now of in between. So I appreciate you being here with this journey with me. And I'm hopefully that I can see you here in that new construction video that I will be shooting sometime next month. Probably, I would imagine middle to end of no, I'm sorry, January. We're just started January. I apologize. So probably towards the end of this month, maybe the middle of the month, I'm going to try and start shooting that video so we can all get settled in. I can get everything put up and create that space for you. Okay, so in this video, we're going to be going over not just what's going on in the housing market, but I'm also going to be, at the end of the video, after I share the data, I'm going to be answering the question, is it a good time to buy in 2025? Who knows? We'll see. We'll see what the data tells and see if it's a good time to buy in 2025, maybe. But before we get into that, once again, please feel free to reach out for me for your real estate needs. Me and my team, we would love to help you out. Whether you're relocating out of state, within the state, my team, we're all the way from Miami, now to Tampa and some in other areas too. So, we are a cloud-based brokerage. So if you can't find someone internally within our team, we can definitely find a referral partner for you as well, either on the commercial side, residential side. EXP started to expand out to commercial, so now we have quite a bit of commercial agents getting on board. So feel free to reach out to me so I can help you out. 407-801-1661. Appreciate you guys being here. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me right now. So let's dig into the numbers. Okay, let's get into the Orlando, Kissimmee, and Sanford market here in Florida, Central Florida. Closed sales, we are down 1.2% year on year from 2007 to 1,982. Cash sales were down 16.2%. Cash sales percentage of closed sales, that's down 15.2%. Median sales price, we are actually ticked up from October to 2.2% year on year, not month on month, but year on year. So we did creep back up to, it looks like probably our October, no, I'm sorry, our September peak, then dipped down in October, as you can see here going across. Average sales price, we're still up 1%. Dollar volume, we are down 0.3%, still at 1.1 billion. Median percent of original list price, we are only down 0.9%. Year on year from 97.8% to 96.9%. So sellers are getting 96.9% of the original list price they are asking for, and you're going to see more of that data coming up here in the next tab that I have open here for what our live data is in the past 7 days. Median time to contract, we are up 62.5%. So we are up from 24 days to 39 days. Obviously, rates do matter. So we are seeing demand being pulled out, and obviously it is the beginning of the holiday season, just after Halloween. So definitely the market is going to start slowing down, but seasonally, because this is year on year November, we are still increasing or decreasing in the demand. Median time to sale, we're up 27.3% from 66 days to 84 days. So that takes 84 days from the original time from listing to the day it closes to get sold. New pending sales, we're up 11.8% from 1,868 to 2,088. New listings, we're down 2.7% year on year from 2,709 to 2,635. Pending inventory, we're up 5.8% from 2,819 to 2,983. Active inventory, we're up 32.9% from 6,932 homes to 9,212 houses. And then the months of supply, we have increased from 39.3% from 2.8 to 3.9. And so we can look a little bit more on what's going on in the live data here. So if you're seeing here, and I think this is now going to be the it has been the leading indicator for a while now, but this price decrease is definitely getting us to where that sold mark is. If you've been seeing any of my previous uploads that I have, previous videos that I've also made, you can see that the sold category was definitely below. I mean, this is actually above the pending inventory now. So this price decreases is telling me that that's how it's getting sold. So I do think that sellers are finally starting to get the message of saying, hey, the prices are a little too high. Interest rates are high, insurance costs are going up. So we need a price adjustment or some sort of concession so we can close these deals. And it looks like the sellers are starting to get starting to carry on to that. And you can see how many have canceled, 318 of those. So I'd imagine, for whatever reason, at least half of these will be more than likely going back onto the market in the spring selling season. So this is good data to see. We do have again, holiday season. That was last week, so Christmas, New Year's, you're not going to get a lot of new listings for that week. You're going to start seeing a little bit more people being incentivized to sell, to work with people who are looking to buy. If you also do see on the back on markets, we do have 293 units. So you can add that to this, and then that actually gives us an overall inventory increase for the week. But as you can see, there wasn't a lot of people shopping either. So compared to how many people were shopping, compared to how many people actually wanted to sell their homes, the new listing side, we're still on the increase on there, but the sold side, we definitely sold quite a few units. So I do see that inventory will probably be not necessarily rolling over, but maybe start seeing a little over to a flat line for the next couple of months. But I definitely can see the inventory starting to increase once again, going into the spring selling season, just because it is seasonal. And we're going to see, how many people are going to want to move in from, other markets, not just out of state, but, out of the Florida market as well. When we get into the Tampa, St. Petersburg area, I do see, we'll just scroll down real quick. The median sales price is continuing to decrease while Orlando's is increasing. So, that could tell me that there's a possibility of some migration changes that are happening from the Tampa area to more the centralized area, which would make sense. Hurricanes do hit the Gulf side more, not just more frequently, but also have a larger impact compared to Central Florida. So, and that was another reason for me wanting to move to the Central Florida area originally, was because of hurricanes. So we'll see if the and it should, and honestly, it should, as more distressed properties that come on the market from the damaged homes that happened through the hurricanes in the Tampa Bay area here. We'll start seeing prices continue to decrease as the median price is being pulled down from the amount of price cuts being adjusted on those homes that are being sold. So I can definitely see this median sales price continuing to decrease. Again, I did call for Orlando being negative year on year in October, and I thought it was going to happen for the rest of the year, November and December. I was wrong on that, and we did have an uptick year on year, and that could be something having to do with migration coming out of other areas, and now demand starting to increase in the central market as well, because of people moving out of those areas. They need to move somewhere, and I'm sure a lot of the hurricane impact is pretty traumatic. So I would definitely say that that has something to do with what is going on. So closed sales, we're down 4.2% to get back to Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, the Tampa Bay area. We are down 4.2% for closed sales, from 2,782 to 2,665. Cash sales, we are down 2% from 758 to 743. Cash sales as a percentage of closed sales were actually up 2.6% from 27.2 to 27.9. And I'm imagining that we're going to probably start having some investors starting to take advantage of what's been going on in the Tampa Bay market on the Gulf side, of starting to take advantage of those distressed properties, to get them, to either do what they have to tear them down, for land value, and then rebuild on top of that, or maybe it's just a gut and rebuild it up, and put up new stuff, new drywall, just depending on what the job calls for that particular property. But I can definitely, I'm going to start saying that this is probably going to start continue to increase, while in the Tampa area, or I'm sorry, in the Orlando area, is going to start decreasing. So we're going to start seeing, type of a bifurcation in the markets where the cash sales are actually going to draw down the median sales price and the average sales price, in the Tampa Bay market. So let's continue on. Average sales price, that's also down 3.3% from $534,074 to $516,528. Dollar volume, we're down 7.4% from 1.5 billion to 1.4 billion. Median percentage of original list price, we're down 1.2% from 97.2%, to 96%. Median time to contract, we are up 69.6% from 23 days to 39 days. Median time to sale, we are up 23.1% from 65 days to 80 days. And then pending sales, we are up 21.8% from 2,536 to 3,088. New listings were up 17.7% from 3,814 to 4,490. Pending inventory, we are up 3.1% from 3,760 to 3,877. Active inventory, we are up 26.6% from 9,085 homes to 11,500 homes. And this is just single family. This does not include condos or townhouses. So let's get into the live data here. What's going on in the Tampa Bay area? So you can see here we have, again, what's helping us get sold, the price decreases. So we have almost 1,000 price decreases, 805 homes sold. We had 586 new listings. Out of those, 600 went pending, and then we had 267 go back on market, and then we have about 345 cancellations. So again, I do think those price decreases, like I said, if you've been following me since earlier this year, you've been seeing that the price decreases have definitely been higher than pretty much any of the other numbers, and that's been our leading indicator to say where prices are going to fall. And if you've also seen the charts of how I explain how the median price works, you'll see that's just what's transacting at the middle. So that's why you're seeing Orlando going up a little bit, where houses are transacting closer to where their inventory is located in the dollar amount value versus Tampa. And then again, the price decreases in the Tampa area, from the distressed properties that need to be sold, coming down in value. So that's what we're seeing in the Tampa Bay area currently. Let's move on to the Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and West Palm Beach area. So let's see here. Closed sales, we're down 3.3% from 2,442 to 2,361. Cash sales, we are down 19.2% from 859 to 694. Cash sales as a percentage of closed sales, we're down 16.5% from 35.2% to 29.4%. Median sales price is we are up 3.3% from 605,000 to 625,000. Average sales price we're actually up 10.4% from $898,269 to $991,574. Miami is expensive to live. I wish I had that kind of money. Maybe one day, right? That's the goal. So let's move on here. Median percent of original list price, we are down 1.3% year on year from 96.5% to 95.2%. So again, the Miami definitely are taking some haircuts. On the Gulf, so the southeast Florida side of the state, they are definitely getting a little bit hit more of the original list price compared to the previous markets that I covered. But they are also a very high dollar volume place, and I definitely I can see that happening. Um, Median time to contract, we are up 65.2% from 23 days to 38 days. Median time to sale, we are up 25.4% to 63 days. From 63 days to 79 days. New pending sales, we're up 5.9% from 2,534 to 2,694. New listings were up 4.1% from 4,066 to 4,231 units. Pending inventory, we're only we're only up 0.2% from 4,120 to 4,130. So not much more activity happening in that market currently. And then active inventory, we're up 29.2% from 12,051 units to 15,568 units. And we are up months of supply 33.3% from 3.9 months of supply to 5.2 months of supply. And again, this is just covering the single family homes. So, all right. So as you can see, there's, real estate hyper local all the time. What we saw from Orlando to Tampa to Miami, completely different stories. And that doesn't just go by counties or just, your local metro areas, but that also goes all the way to hyper focus, not just down in your zip code, but also what's going on just in your neighborhood around your block. Especially when you're camping out areas, usually want to try to go anything. For me personally, I go less than 5 miles. That's super simple. Like, really, it should be maybe a mile radius realistically in a good market where there's a lot of inventory. Things are selling, you can comp. But sometimes you have to go a little bit further back as well or further out to get your comps. It just really depends in your area. More rural areas, you'll have to expand a little bit further out. Where in the cities, bigger cities, you'll definitely be a lot closing in your circle for your comps. So as you can see, things are very different in this market, and a lot of people are asking, is it going to be a good time to buy in 2025? And I really feel like, as this is our third home now, we bought at the very bottom in 2012, and everyone back then said it was a terrible time to buy. Like, the real estate is a horrible market right now. Don't get into it. And now we're possibly buying at the peak. We're taking that risk this time around. I'm really putting my money where my mouth, where my money is. My mindset, where my mindset's at. In new construction because of if you watch my previous videos of those reasons. Um, the insurance costs fluctuating, HOA costs fluctuating. Obviously, HOAs are fluctuating in new construction as well. But at least it does start low, and there are some other variables in there that can make it actually more affordable. In the insurance side of things, surprisingly, I didn't know this until I got my insurance statement. But so there are other things that you can make your insurance cheaper, and also not just the insurance, but also just migration and also tariffs. That just other economic factors that can make a play in the prices of increasing prices in new construction. What I do think that could actually cause them to come down is also if they were to start remodeling their floor plans and start shrinking them in sizes, which has had happening for actually about 10 years now. They have been shrinking the sizes of the homes, but I like to compare the past 5 years because of that. That was really the boom of from 2020 to 2005. What has happened in at least the most recent time. So I do think that if you've seen DR Horton and Lennar's market reports, if you looked at those, Lennar's talking about they're going to try and do whatever they can to move their products at the same current pace that they are doing currently, and that means price reductions. So again, could the prices of homes come down on new construction side? Absolutely, but I do think that the demand side of things, especially because now the while there's two new buildings going up, but the amount of permits being released, new of them being released, is going to cause supply to come down. So if we're having the demand side increase and new construction going up because of the reasons I've explained, and there's some other reasons too. It could be, location. It could be, it could be family. It could be multiple work. There's multiple reasons why people move to different areas. But as far as the new construction side, being that big risk management side of things, I'm learning to, again, the insurance side of things is not just, what is the replacement cost, what is, the roof and the windows and all that being hurricane rated, but also the age of the home, as far as replacement cost is concerned. So you're going to definitely have a lot cheaper replacement costs on the new construction side. So it's going to keep your rate low. And instead of it being an older home, it's just going to be higher as a replacement cost. And I'll show you in that. I'll show you the line in the contract where that says that in the insurance side of things, so you can get a better idea what I'm trying to explain. Because the legal language is a little bit tough to read, so I had to call the insurance agent and have her explain that to me because I was really curious, not just on that part of the contract, but also the another part of it I had a question about, and she explained to me about, and I'll go more into detail about that later. So that's where I'm thinking, new construction is going to be going up, where resale be coming down. Is again, the insurance cost, the affordability. Like I said, we're paying $900 for the year, and that's with flood insurance. Onto that, and if you can make a one-time payment for the year to help get your monthly payment even further reduced, then that's going to help the affordability as well. So just my head. Again, I don't know what's going to happen. This is just where I think things could happen, and again, why I've been focusing so much on new construction as my niche, because I thought that insurance could escalate, or actually, four times the amount of the national average. And if you've lived in Florida long enough to know, the wages here, while they have gone up a lot, especially in retail, they haven't gone up, in my opinion, for the price and interest and insurance costs to go up. To be able to, and also, housing is, it's set by what the local economy can afford. And if we continue seeing, what's going to be happening, with remote workers having to return to work, because we're seeing that, as well, that that could further increase supply, either in new construction, and but mostly on the resale side of things, because obviously that inventory was existing when people were migrating, where the new construction side, it's starting to get finished. Communities are getting either starting to develop or finishing development, or maybe in the middle of developing. So there's, and then also the builders are willing to work with the buyers, with those incentives, rate buy downs. Maybe, in the future we'll be looking at some price decreases. Us personally, we were able to get a $10,000 price decrease on the home itself too. So it just depends on the season, but I definitely feel like it's a buyer's market. Um, I do feel like, in 2025, I think the sellers are going to start more processing that and getting the picture of, like, saying, hey, yeah, the prices are too high. They're understanding, I'm sure, one of their motivations to sell is, the affordability of things. So if they understand that if they can't afford that home, maybe the future purchaser can't purchase that home either because of how much it costs. So I do definitely see price decreases happening more on the resale side than on the new construction side, especially as we're going into the buyer season, the election's over. So there has definitely been a more of a confidence in the market, so that could bring more demand into the market as well. So we'll see what we'll do, but I definitely feel like, we could definitely start seeing more of a uptick, at least in Florida. I can't speak for anywhere else in the state because of where our situation is different here versus everywhere else. So at least in Florida, when is a good time to buy? It's up to you. Like I said, we bought at the bottom. We might be buying at the peak. The important thing is the motivation why you're buying this house. Are you buying this house for asset appreciation? Are you buying this house to to make memories? Are you buying this house to raise your family? Are you buying this house maybe because, like ours, our parents are maturing and we had to buy a home? We didn't have to, but we bought a home also with more bedrooms than we needed to consider, their age and them moving in with us so we can take care of them when, that time comes for me to take care of my parents and my in-laws and my wife to take care of my parents and her parents. So these are all things to consider, when you're purchasing a home. If price is really what you're afraid of, honestly, it's never a good time to buy. It's just for me. I feel like there could be so much fear, especially after 2008, right? That left a lot of I'm sure a lot of damage in a lot of people's hearts, of getting back into that situation, and that's completely understandable. Like no one wants to lose 50% of what they saw, and I do think that, um, obviously, I've said in the past that there is a possibility for correction. I asked my wife, are you okay with me being wrong? Like, I don't know what's going to happen. This is what I feel could happen. Are you okay with us possibly losing anywhere from 20 25%? Because while I do see a correction coming, I don't really see us, losing more than 25%. But she was okay with it when because of the motivation of our motivation is not for asset appreciation. Like, yeah, long in the long term, yes. If 10 years plus out, that's where me personally I'm looking for asset appreciation. I'm not looking for anything in the next 10 years as far as that's concerned. What I'm looking for is can I afford the monthly payment? Is it in a location that I like? Are the things around me are the things that I need and want that fulfill my lifestyle? And am I going to be making memories in this place that I'm going to hold on to? And now at this point, being for the rest of our lives, like this is a home that for us we're not probably ever going to sell. Just depending on what market happens, like you never know what the future looks like, right? But definitely in the next 10 years, I don't plan on selling. Um, so it all just really depends on your motivation. Is it a good time to buy? Like again, if your motivation is to, um, start that family or take care of your family or to build memories or to be in the location that you're looking for, or the affordability, you know, what is your cost benefit from renting versus buying? Like I said in my previous video, we're going to go from 25 to 2700, I'm sorry, 2300 to $2700 a month in rent. We got just over $2,100 in a monthly payment. Yeah, we had to put a good chunk. We put 20% down on a $360,000 home, so you can do the math on that. So do people have the capital to put that money down in order to be able to afford the monthly payment? Those are all questions and considerations that you need to ask yourself. Are you willing to take the risk on an HOA fluctuation? Are you willing to take the risk on an insurance fluctuation? There's always risks in everything. And I feel like if you're not mentally ready to be okay with losing money, if you're not okay with that, if you're more on the asset appreciation side, honestly, if you're thinking about the next 2 to 5 years, it probably is not a good time to buy. It's not a good time to buy if that's what you're worried about. But if your long term picture is further out, and you're more worried about paying off something that you're going to own probably for the rest of your life, right? Because it's going to take 15 to 30 years, 20 years. You can pay it off sooner, right? If this is something that you're going to play long term and you're going to keep for a long time, I think it's definitely a good time to buy anytime. Anytime is a really a good time to buy because you're at least paying off something that you're going to be owning into the future, for forever, or at least till you sell it. Whereas renting, you're just giving that money to the landlord. But that also is there's a benefit of renting. You have the freedom to move wherever you want. You obviously have a low entry cost to renting versus buying. You have the flexibility to up and leave when you need to. There's a lot, it's a lot more flexibility and freedom with renting. So, you need to ask yourselves, you know, here's my list of pros and cons of why I think I should buy, why I should rent, and ultimately make that reason, that choice for yourself. Or again, like I said, our choice for me was the monthly cost. Was less than $2,100, was less than rent. Or my parents, my in-laws, making sure that they have a home, where they can run away from the wintertime back in Michigan so they can come to a warm place, making sure we can take care of them as they get elderly, and making sure we're in a great location and building memories from Not only the people that we know in Michigan that are going to come down and visit us, but also the people that we meet here, the relationships we grow here, to have more space, more time to enjoy with them. Again, I'm a gearhead, I'm a barbecuer. I can't do that, in an apartment. I could do that obviously in a single family home. I could do that, but the cost difference, the few $100s to rent a home than to own a home. Obviously, again, your entry cost is completely different, but the monthly payment, a lot of people take that into consideration. And if they can have a better quality of life in that house versus when they're renting, knowing that they're going to be, owning it one day outright, at least that's the goal. That should be the goal, at least, depending on everybody, or at least, maybe move that price appreciation if you were able to see it. Again, long-term picture. Your short-term, maybe it's not a good idea to buy. Maybe it's better to rent, but that's just my opinion. It could be, a good thing for you in the future. So, it's good time to buy, good time to sell. Ultimately, it's up to you. It's up to your situation. It's up to what is going on in your life at that moment. And me, I would much rather own a home. Yeah, it's gonna, and that's another reason too why I went new construction, less maintenance. Everything is brand new. We have a 1, 2, 10 year warranty on it. We have also the pool area as well. So that's an amenity that we really like. So, we still get amenities that we would have had renting outside of the hot tub, but not really any places here in the Tampa Bay area. Looks like they're at a hot tub anyway. And that's something we could always add if we really wanted that. It really depends. You got to ask yourself, am I willing to take the risk? Am I willing to take the dive? Am I looking to live here for a while, knowing that, the market's changing, and I could lose some money on this, if I do have to sell for whatever reason it may be. So I hope you guys never get into that kind of bind. There obviously is people moving out of the state, but there's also a lot of people moving into the state as well. So those are things to consider. Obviously, we are in the snowbird season, so there are multiple plates from everywhere right now, from the north out to the west, and so those are things to consider to see what how many more of those license plates do you actually still see during the summertime, because that's going to still tell you the migration. And you got to pay attention. If you're outside of Florida, pay attention to what's going on in your market, because you got people coming down here from Florida, let's say up to the north, and they have, we have higher real estate values here compared to, like, let's say Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, the Midwest states. Those can drive your real estate values up. You got to think about that. What is going on my market? You might be seeing me because you're visiting my channel because you want what's going on in Florida, but maybe you're an investor and you're, thinking about what might happen in these markets. So always thinking about migration of what could happen. You got, higher real estate values, peaking here, and now they're going to start falling maybe. And then those real estate values are a little bit lower, up north. Now those will start coming up as, migration comes in, new money comes in. So, so yeah, that's just kind of what I think of what's, outside of what is, going on inside the market numerically, if it's a good time to buy or not. Just a lot of things to consider, because, there's a lot of life situations and everyone's life is in a different place, and it might be the right time for you. It might be the wrong time for you. But I definitely learned over the past 13 years. Well, 2012 has already been 13 years. It's crazy. So, out of 13 years being in real estate, again, it was a bad time. It was a bad time to buy back in 2012 at the bottom of the market. And now, can I tell you it's a great time to buy? No. I can't tell you, because it might be a peak. Really, it almost seems like there's never a good time to buy. It almost seems like it's just never a good time to buy because X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's got an opinion. Go with your heart. Go with your gut. Go with what's in your best interest, because no one else can speak for you like the way you can speak for you, and then what's in your situation. So that's going to wrap up today's video. I hope you had a good time here today. And next time you see me, hopefully I will be in a different environment. And I will have my YouTube office studio set up, so that way I can go wrap up the year for 2024 in our new place. So that's going to be exciting. So again, thank you for being here today. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me right now. Again, if you need anything real estate wise, please feel free to reach out to me. Me and my team, we would love to help you out. If you're looking to buy, sell, relocate, My phone number here is 407-801-1661, and we'd be happy to take care of you and all your real estate needs. Thanks and have a great day.